All right, welcome everybody. I see that some people have already joined, so we're just gonna go ahead and get started. So automating your work and content with ChatGPT along with my coworker Santiago and Ilia. So let's get started.
All right, hello guys. My name is Santiago and Ilia. I'm the senior content creator and copywriter here at Doorloop, and I have an extensive computer science background as I am a FIU graduate with a BS in computer science, and I simply love all things tech.
And my name is Ilia Valdez. I'm a junior content creator and copywriter here at Doorloop. I am also an FIU graduate. I love writing and I have a legal and real estate background. So a little bit about what we're going to cover today. So first, we're going to talk about ourselves, about me and Santi. We're going to talk about what ChatGPT exactly is, how can it help you, how can it help property managers and landlords, how to automate your work with ChatGPT, and some things to keep in mind. So let's get started. About us.
So a little bit more about me. I'm responsible for producing a large amount of content for Doorloop. This spans over blog posts, forums, resources, and anything else that goes onto the website. I'm also responsible for implementing a large amount of automations and integrations for our department as well as other departments in the company. And I'm also very passionate about leveraging technology such as ChatGPT to solve real-world problems and drive business success in our own company.
So my name is Ilia and I produce tons of written content for Doorloop, and I also do work on some social media videos. I graduated with a bachelor's degree in political science and international relations, which in other words, it just means that writing is a huge part of my life.
So now that you know a little bit more about us, let's get into the main topic, which is ChatGPT. And to begin, let's talk about what ChatGPT is. ChatGPT is an AI-powered language model which can understand and generate human-like language across any topic that you can possibly think of. This makes it an amazing tool for automating tasks and streamlining workflows. But what can ChatGPT actually do for you? One of the things that ChatGPT is very useful for is reducing tedious and time-consuming tasks. This means that it automates repetitive tasks that you might do on a daily basis and helps you save time and frees up resources in the company for you to do more important tasks. Another thing that ChatGPT is useful for is being trained to provide consistent and accurate responses to customer inquiries. This is because ChatGPT can be trained on a large amount of data from customer service or customer support departments in order to answer customer questions as accurately as possible. And with that, it also generates high quality content that adheres to a specific style or brand voice. And adding to that, it can also implement a 24/7 support system to any company, as it can answer customer questions very accurately based on data that it's trained on. And the effects of all of that can also lead to reducing costs within the company, as businesses can save on costs associated with hiring additional staff or outsourcing certain tasks that can now be done simply with ChatGPT.
So next, what can ChatGPT do for property managers and landlords? So first of all, it can answer tenant inquiries, and it can do so very accurately. So it can answer tenant inquiries and provide information about rental properties, lease terms, and other related topics. It can also save you time and help ensure that tenants are receiving the correct information, which is very important. It can also manage maintenance requests. One, it can prioritize the requests and send notifications to the appropriate maintenance personnel, and it can also help reduce maintenance issues and make sure that they are resolved quickly and efficiently. And it can also provide financial analysis. So it can provide landlords and property managers with financial analysis such as forecasting cash flow, calculate your ROI, and tracking expenses. This is very important because it just keeps you informed as a landlord or property manager.
So now let's get into some of the more specific use cases for automating work and content with ChatGPT. As mentioned before, one of the main things that ChatGPT can do to benefit businesses is automating customer support. This is because it can be trained to understand and respond to customer inquiries in a very accurate way, similarly to how a human will do it. This means that it can help reduce the workload on human support teams and improve the customer satisfaction as they are being helped at all hours of the day, not just regular business hours. Another specific use case with ChatGPT is with content creation. This is because the technology can be leveraged to generate high quality content such as written posts or social media updates that can mimic the way that any business writes their content and can sound almost the same. Another specific use case is for analyzing data. ChatGPT can be used to analyze and extract insights from large data sets, which can help businesses make more informed decisions, especially in this era of big data. Another use case for ChatGPT is for personalized marketing. ChatGPT can create personalized marketing campaigns that resonate with individual customers and different buyer personas. The way to do this is to ensure that the model is trained on customer data and preferences and that the campaigns are tailored to each customer's specific needs. And finally, another use case for ChatGPT is with task automation. ChatGPT can automate a variety of tasks, such as scheduling appointments or responding to emails simply by asking it to do so on the chat. You have to ensure that the model is trained on a specific task being automated and that it can provide accurate and reliable responses. But once it is trained, it can simply automate all of those tasks in just a few seconds.
So now we're going to talk about some things to keep in mind when it comes to ChatGPT. First off, we're going to talk about accuracy of information. You should be cautious when relying solely on ChatGPT's responses. And to fix this, just verify the information independently whenever possible. Bias. ChatGPT's responses may reflect biases of the data it was trained on. To avoid this, you should always be aware of this potential bias and should always strive to treat all individuals equally and with respect. And privacy. ChatGPT may also collect and store data from conversations, including personal information. So always be aware of the privacy implications and take appropriate measures to protect sensitive information. And security. ChatGPT may be vulnerable to security breaches or attacks. So take appropriate measures to measure the security of your conversations and any sensitive information exchanged with ChatGPT. So just keep this in mind. Limits of knowledge. It may not have the knowledge of all topics and situations. So understand the limits of ChatGPT's knowledge and seek additional resources when needed. Alrighty, so thank you so much for tuning in, and that just concludes our webinar. So what are your opinions, Santi?
I think that ChatGPT is definitely a revolutionary technology that's going to change the way that many businesses work and operate, but it should be used with the knowledge that it is not inclusive, it is not complete. It is still a work in progress, and it shouldn't be trusted completely with all content and business needs, and it should be used with caution, like we've mentioned before, as there's still at risk of privacy, and there are still many risks involved with using ChatGPT, as well as the risk of AI detectors that have become popular. And Google and other search engines like Bing are probably going to start using these AI detectors to detect this kind of content, and it can hurt some businesses' SEO rankings if it is used out of moderation. What do you think, Ilia?
I completely agree. I feel like the one thing to take away from this is to always do your own research and always make sure that you're educated on new tools and new software so you can always keep yourself up to date and your business. So thank you so much for watching. And if you have any questions, you can just drop them down below and we'll go ahead and answer them.